This episode of Watchin' Stuff is sponsored by T-Blocks. Stay till the end to find out how you can support ToonGrin while getting your own limited edition Geek Culture t-shirt.
ToonGrin.com.
The most legendary crime fighter
Batman, what are you doing here?
will meet his match
Trap now!
in a mystery-solving mutt.
Nothing scarier than puppets.
Hello and welcome to Watchin' Stuff, the show about watching stuff. I'm NERO, with me is my Canadian counterpart WHYBOY, and today, somehow through miraculousness, we are discovering that there is a good animated Scooby-Doo film in recent years.
There's been a few. We watched Moon Monster Madness and such.
What was the last animated film they did?
Oh yeah, it was Shaggy Showdown, not the last one. And I did a CC of that.
Click the card above his head, link in the description below.
And then before that, I don't even remember. Oh no, that was
did you review Monsters of Mexico?
Well, Monster of Mexico was like into 2000, so that doesn't count as a recent one.
Did review it though, click the card above the head, link in the description below.
Yes, exactly. Like, clearly there's no mistake. There's been a ton of bad Scooby-Doo movies, a ton of okay Scooby-Doo movies, and a handful of really good Scooby-Doo movies. Now today, we'll be discussing whether that includes Scooby-Doo and Batman Brave and the Bold.
It does!
We were supposed to make it special, Nero.
It is special. It's the Scooby Gang, and they're teaming up with all the best detectives of the DC universe and Aquaman, who just sort of invades their hidden base.
Right? Yeah.
But like all the other great detectives are there. Batman, Detective Chimp, Black Canary, The Question, Plastic Man, because everybody forgets Plastic Man's an awesome detective. Martian Manhunter. For some reason, Green Arrow isn't there, even though he's just Batman with a quiver.
You sure? Probably Batman would just be like, you go out of here. You out of here, Green Arrow.
Actually, in the Brave and the Bold cartoon, he and Arrow always had like a hilarious rivalry with each other.
Yeah, that's probably why he wasn't invited.
Look, I already got his wife on the team. I got Black Canary. We don't need Ollie. I got Dinah. She does like a canary cry, and it's like a sonic scream. What does her husband do? Shoots boxing gloves at people. What a jerk.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay?
So
what a jerk.
So just to break this down even more, this is another one of the just sort of the team-up sort of movies, just like the WrestleMania ones, the Kiss ones. Now we got Scooby-Doo and Batman Brave and the Bold, one of the most recent
But this one has precedent, though.
Yeah.
But this is like precedent, though.
Yeah.
Scooby has teamed up with Batman before.
Yeah, in the much earlier, 90s sort of series, Scooby-Doo and the New Movie, something like that, where he teamed up with, old school Batman and Robin while they're trying to get, the Penguin and Joker.
Are you sure that was from the 90s? Are you sure that's not from, the 60s?
No, I don't. No, it was probably from the 70s that series was in. The 69 one was basically the original series run, and then it was, years later when they actually did, those sort of hour-long movie specials where they had the Addams Family, the Three Stooges, and Batman and Robin.
This movie actually did do a callback to that original one, too. Because there's a point in this movie where Batman looks at Scooby and he says, "Here," and he goes to his utility belt and he goes, "Have a bat cookie." And he gives it to Scooby and it's like, that's what he did in the old one. I don't know why Batman's got, bat cookies in his belt. And then it's because Batman's always prepared.
Yeah, he's always prepared, even with dog treats in shape of
Well,
bats.
he does have a dog. I mean, he's got Ace the Bat Hound.
But where is he in this movie, Nero? Where is he?
He's probably out with Crypto for, fighting crime with the Super Pets.
But his costume was at the Batcave.
It's a fucking dog! Why would it need a costume?
Because you can't know that it was Bat Hound. He has to keep his identity secret.
That's the same weird logic where it's we put a cape on Crypto, so when you take the cape off, does it just look like a regular dog?
Exactly. He's gonna hide his own identity.
Oh yeah, and everybody's got super pets. Plastic Man either has a red-eyed tree frog that's super stretchy, or a macaw that stretches. That's weird.
But yeah, this is basically one of those movies where you're really you're really gonna enjoy it more whether you like know a lot about comics like Nero does, or really like Scooby-Doo like I do. And just like
It's the perfect blend.
yeah, it is really a perfect blend of those two fandoms just coming together. Like, I definitely don't think this movie is for everybody. If they're not into sort of like what Batman Brave and the Bold was, which is basically just sort of the re-edition of the old, like, corny style of Batman, but made into the new age. Which,
It was the Silver Age.
yeah. Like,
Silver Age was a weird time.
yeah, when me and Nero, like, actually both started watching the show, like, we were both just sort of like, what's this stupid cartoony Batman? Like, this is corny, stupid, for fun? Screw
Not my
this.
Batman hashtag.
Yeah, my Batman hashtag. But yeah, we were basically part of that sort of initial push of just to like, nah, get that out of here. Like, it wasn't until like Nero got back into the show where he started to really like it, and like all the callbacks to the comics and all that sort of stuff.
Once again, man, the Joker, when he's funny, melts my little black heart. And I was just like, oh man, I haven't seen a funny Joker in. Can't even remember the last time I saw a funny Joker till this show came
Wasn't
around.
it pretty funny in Suicide Squad where he just sent people like used condoms? That was
That
pretty
wasn't even
hilarious.
in the movie. That wasn't even in the movie. That's just Jared Leto being a dick behind the cameras. And then according to Jared Leto in an interview, the studio lied and made all that up just to build up the movie. He said he never did that, and he even said, I never even saw the Suicide Squad movie. You starred in the damn thing! Sure, you were barely in it, but then according to Jared Leto, you guys don't understand. I recorded so much footage, they could make an entire Joker movie out of it. No one wants you. Oh my god, yeah, between you and Jesse Eisenberg as Lex Luthor, can we just recast both of the two iconic DC villains with better actors and better screenwriters?
Yeah, precisely. Definitely the Joker we got in this movie was definitely a whole lot better. Definitely a lot funnier, a lot cartoonier, and definitely punchy. But actually, Joker is one of the main players in this movie.
Can I bring up, by the way, on the Wikipedia page, it says, the movie involves Scooby-Doo and his friends teaming up with Batman and other DC Comics superheroes, which is redundant because DC stands for Detective Comics, so you just said Detective Comics. And other DC Comics superheroes in order to defeat the Joker and a new villain. I got news for you. The Joker makes a brief cameo that has a chase sequence.
Yeah.
And he's funny.
Yeah,
And that's it.
Yeah, the only reason like the Joker and Penguin show up is because they were part of the original movie with those two.
Yeah, and they actually brought back the Silver Age, I don't know if you knew this, but in the Silver Age comics, for some weird reason, the Joker was best friends with the Penguin.
Yeah.
And I think actually, I can't remember which one, there's a story where one of them dies, or like, they believe the other is dead, and it's either the Joker dies or the Penguin dies. I can't remember which one because it's been a while, but when that happens, the other throws their significant friend a like funeral because of how much they miss them.
Aww.
Like that's how tight knit Penguin and the Joker were. And they put that in here. Like the Penguin and the Joker are buddies.
Yeah, that's all.
I love that.
It's a totally fun thing. Yeah, but yeah, it isn't a Joker movie at all, which is also kind of a relief as well. Because this is really about Scooby Gang and Batman working together to actually solve a mystery. And you know what?
Also,
it's
the
not
Joker's
like
on the cover.
Yeah, it's not like in Kiss and such, where it's basically like, okay, Scooby Gang, you go off to the far back, and let the Kiss Gang basically solve everything.
Why don't you, look, Mystery Inc. Why don't you go back there? We're already in the back. Go back further!
Yeah, that is
Kiss is working.
That's the sign of a really bad crossover movie where the teams that come together aren't really working together or coming together.
But we really like the Kiss one, though.
We did really like the Kiss one, but you clearly realized in the mystery aspect they weren't working together.
No, it's just really cool that they turned Kiss, who likes to see themselves as rock gods, be actual rock gods.
Yeah, that's just the fun part of it. While here there was actual sort of mystery solving in just sort of like the cartoony extreme sort of sense. And we have like the Mystery Inc. on the run from the police because they're later like framed for the crimes and all that.
It's it's a pretty basic setup you would expect, and I'm fine with that. It doesn't bother me at all. The real reason why you watch something like this, it goes back to the Paddington argument, and even to Batman the Brave and the Bold, the TV show, where it comes down to it's not the story you tell, it's how you tell it.
Yeah.
And it's really cool to see the Scooby Gang interact with all these iconic heroes because they all have wonderful personalities.
Yeah, and at the same time, the Scooby Gang is each given it's sort of a role in the story, even though, like, as we were talking about it, like, the writer for this movie really loved Daphne most of all to make her most useful.
It was James Tucker. He also worked on Batman Brave and the Bold. And I guess he's a Daphne fan because he clearly wanted Daphne to be useful. Because, let's be honest, okay?
Yeah.
Shaggy and Scooby are fan favorites, so even though, technically speaking, they probably don't really need to be on Mystery Inc., but you can't get rid of the dog because...
Yeah, they're just around and all that.
It's named after the dog. Shaggy's his owner, so you're not going to get rid of him. Shaggy and Scooby are fan favorites, so you can't get rid of them. Velma is the smart one. Fred's the trapper. Really, what is Daphne? Like, most of the time, what is Daphne? She's just sort of the damsel in distress.
Yeah. Or just in the more recent movies, just a pseudo sort of, like, clue solver in a sense. Like, mostly in this one. She was
freaking razor smart.
Yeah. And, you know, that's really refreshing. Give her sort of a back at the Velma sort of point.
Yeah, and I dig that. I dig the idea that it's like, you know, oh, the two women are very intelligent. Fred's the trapper, and the only reason why they always use Shaggy and Scooby as bait is because, well, we're the fastest people on the team. Let's be honest.
Yeah,
Monster's never gonna actually catch us.
Yeah, really. But by the time they do actually catch them, they're already in the trap.
Yeah. And they do that stuff. They tick all the Scooby boxes because it's like, okay, chase montage. Running around through loops and doorways, coming in and out, they do that.
Yeah, fun antagonistic monster character, that works. Like, I love... the Red Shroud was a really cool looking monster.
It wasn't the Red Shroud, it was the Crimson Cloak.
Crimson Cloak.
The Red Shroud!
Ooh.
Now someone right now Rob Liefeld. And that's why I created the Red Shroud. The greatest... Doobie Sue monster the world's ever known. Just literally changed the first two letters of the damn dog's name.
I'm like, damn you, Rob Liefeld, why would you take my ideas?
By the way, the dog will also wear shoulder pads and a bandolier of bullets. He won't have a gun, or if he does, it'll have barrels that clearly don't line up with anything.
Oh, God. But yeah, the monster for this movie is really cool, it reminds me of one of the ghosts from the original series. Just go like, wow! Just big, long arms and such just flying around.
Yeah, that's the thing, too. If you ever go back to, if you were really into Batman Brave and the Bold, a lot of the character designs are the really retro ones of these characters. So, like, that's why Batman he's got a blue cowl and cape, and he's got the blue boots and the blue gloves, but then he's got the black just over the eyes.
Yeah.
To, you know, kind of make him mysterious, but then he's got the eyebrows on the cowl.
Yeah.
And, like, that was an old thing, and he wears gray and blue, which Batman used to be allowed to have color, but because we need Batman to be legitimized and real, he wears just black and various shades of gray, because as we all know, there's nothing more real than a grown man in a bat costume punching a clown in the face.
Yep, exactly. Now... I'm just trying to think of the question to, like, really just sort of, like, delve into, like, how we feel this movie is a really good crossover. Like, in this sense, like, with the Batman sort of references and such, like, mixed with the Scooby Gang. Because later in the story, like, we'll spoil this because it's projected so hard. Like, the Scooby Gang goes to the Batcave, they see all the costumes, of, like, all past, like, Robins and all that sort of stuff. And so later, they all dress up as them, as well. Now... does that, like, improve the movie? Is that just sort of, like, pandering to the fans or anything like that? What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I think the Bat fans are going to be like, you know, it's neat to see those costumes. Fred's Golden Age Batman with the hilariously dinky purple gloves. Daphne is Batgirl, which is funny because Barbara Gordon is also a redhead, which was really funny because at one point when Duke and I were watching it, Daphne was a bit flirtatious with Batman for a scene, and he's like, he mentioned something, and it's like, yeah, Batman's really into redheads. Just look at Bruce Timm. And Jukes just goes, yeah, oh god, he like banged Gordon's daughter. What the hell, Bruce Timm? And it's like, it just collapsed in on itself, and that was just really, really funny to me. Robin is Velma, and she looks like Carrie Kelly. And if you know about The Dark Knight Returns, which for a lot of people seems to be one of the quintessential Batman stories, even though it's terrible, that's what she looks like. She looks like Carrie Kelly, the one female Robin they had. Shaggy being Nightwing in the disco costume is kind of weird because there's like no correlation. He doesn't even look like Nightwing. It just looks like Shaggy in a weird outfit.
Yeah, maybe just put some like black tar through his hair. Just like, there we go.
I think with Scooby, one of the things that annoyed me about that scene though was like when he puts on the Ace the Bat Hound cowl, he still has the Scooby eyes. He didn't just get cool white eyes.
That would be cool if he had like the cool white eyes.
Because like you can still make it expressive, because the way the masks are designed, the white eyes are expressive. That's why Batman has it. That's why the Flash has the white eyes. That's why Green Arrow has the white eyes.
Yeah, you just make them like a little bit more extra bigger for the Scooby eyes. Just a little bit.
Well, because the Ace mask is blue with black just on the front where the eyes would be.
Right.
Once the eyes are white, they're gonna just stand out.
Yeah.
But I liked it. It didn't bother me. It was very forcibly choreographed where it's like, wow, it's name every character that existed that wore these things. And I'm just like, okay, I read the comics, so I know all this. But like for like little kids who probably haven't even seen Batman Brave and the Bold, by the way, because it went off the air in like 2011. And it's 2018, so it's been a very long time since they've ever actually got around to doing probably these characters. Especially because DC has this fascination where it's like, unless you as an audience, you only know the characters that are in the films.
Right. Exactly.
So it's like, oh, who's been in the film? Batman. That's it from his mythos. I mean, I guess the Joker, but the Joker in the Suicide Squad movie is nothing remotely like the one from...
Yeah, that's just sort of the nail on the head that I'm just sort of nailing there. It's like, this is sort of the movie that's not really suited for like a lot of kids out there, because they don't really know most of the Batman references and such. And I feel that we enjoyed it a whole lot more because we got all those references and all that. But
well, this is like a love letter, again, because Brave and the Bold's a love letter to the Silver Age.
Yeah.
This is really a love letter to like a send-off of like, Brave and the Bold had a great ending.
Yeah.
I generally did cry at that last episode because I thought it was really good. It was Batman thanking us for allowing Brave and the Bold to happen, for allowing him the opportunity to be a lighter incarnation. And even though it was 2011 when it ended, and now it's 2018, it's been quite a few years, and the fact that it was able to come back, and it's like, okay, we know there are certain buttons we're going to have to hit if you're a Brave and the Bold fan. If you're a Brave and the Bold fan, okay, obviously, it's going to have Batman. That's duh.
Yeah.
The breakout character in Brave and the Bold was Aquaman.
Yeah.
A lot of critics had said, Brave and the Bold made Aquaman cool again.
Right.
So even though he's not a detective, even the people working on this movie were like, we gotta bring back John DiMaggio's Aquaman. He's beloved by the audience. They'd love to see him again. And it wasn't a shoehorned in situation where it's like, stick him in there to pander to the audiences. He acts like how Aquaman did in that series, where he's very adamant about helping Batman, and he's always about solving crime and bringing justice to the wicked, and that carries over here very well. I love the fact that he feels very left out when Batman's like, you can't come, Aquaman, it's detectives only. But I can do all these things. I can name like 900 fish on sight alone. That's ichthyology. That's not remotely being a detective. But who could sense under ocean currents? That's oceanography. Still not a detective. And the movie does set up where it's like they're all the detective characters and Mystery Inc. are at the awesome super secret detective base. Aquaman, through detective work, tracked them down.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which it's always proved my point. I've always said when it came to comic book characters, because one of the big nicknames for Batman is the world's greatest detective.
Yeah.
Which I stand to argue, when your villain writes "ha ha ha" or there are question marks on the wall or birds everywhere, are you really a great detective?
Yeah.
Because all your villains kind of signature their work.
Yeah, in comparison, the Scooby Gang are better detectives than Batman.
This movie does that too, actually, where it's like, oh, I found this. We don't want to spoil what the mystery is, do we?
Well, for any sort of Batman fan, it's going to be spoiled the instant they see it, so why don't we just go as just sort of broad as the movie goes. They find some clay on the ground.
Which to me is like, Batman, take this to the Batcave to analyze. Come on, man! You know who it is! You got one guy! And what that stuff is made out of is in his name!
Yeah, just simple as that. That's the mystery of that aspect, but actually, if it were just that mystery, I would have been like, well, this is a fun movie, but definitely the mystery aspect is kind of not there. But actually, they sort of interweave a sort of another mystery in the background, to like Batman's
I don't want us
character.
to spoil. I don't want us to spoil that one, but that one is good.
Yeah, because that one is it's sort of a small intrigue sort of plot in the background, where you just sort of think maybe Batman's going a little bit crazies.
The funny thing is this: after rewatching it a second time, you could figure out who it is if you pay attention to the character models and the voice acting.
Yeah, and that right there actually shows like a lot of good like mystery writing. Like we got that from Blowout Beach Bash, and we got it here as well. There's some
So
cool
what's the matter,
like,
White Boy?
mystery.
You didn't like the clay. I mean, that clay footprint could have been anybody. It could have even been Gorilla Grodd.
Yeah, no, I did not like that aspect of it. It was so fucking projected.
I like that you don't even have to be a comic book reader to be like, for real?
Well, I know like a bunch of the Batman villains and all that, but yeah.
Well, I mean, to be fair, Clayface is in the top 10 for most Batman rogues. So
Oops, I think we spoiled it.
oh yeah, it was the ventriloquist or Killer Moth. It could have been any of these people. Clearly, it was Phosphorus Rex.
Well, we tried, but yeah, it's really that obvious.
Oh, come on.
It's the mystery around the first mystery that basically makes it all the more enjoyable.
The mystery around it makes it far better than the Clayface one.
If it were,
It's so easy.
If it were on its own, it would have been a crap mystery.
Is there anything you disliked about this? Because there's only one thing I really didn't like.
I would just say it like this: the first basic mystery, even if it does have that second mystery around it, I would have liked it if it weren't as just sort of straightforward. It's just like found a clay footprint. It's Clayface.
Dude, why boy? That's impossible. Because this is Silver Age Batman, and every one of his villains.
Well, they had
has a
the
telltale sign.
Scooby Gang there. They could have used some of their writing to basically beef up that sort of mystery aspect.
But they kind of did though, because they were the one analyzing the clay. I still don't understand why Batman's like, well, you better take this this clay back and see where it came from. And it's like, come on. Like, who is it? I mean, like, the argument's like, oh, it was probably like he thought it was just mud. I get that, but come on.
But what's the one thing that you didn't like in the movie?
I know this is a weird hang-up. I know it is.
Right.
I hate Tara Strong as Harley Quinn.
She was only in the movie for like 2 minutes.
I know, even though Harley had a voice actress in Brave and the Bold, but it wasn't Tara Strong.
Uh-huh.
I hate Tara Strong as Harley Quinn, and it's not because Tara Strong's a bad voice actress. I adore her as a performer. She's one of my all-time favorites. I've always said, like, man, if I ever somehow got my stuff animated, I have to cast her somewhere.
Yeah.
I don't know where, but I'd have to cast her. She's always in, like, my top 10 of casting decisions as a performer, because she's so good.
Right.
I can't stand her Harley Quinn, though. It just sounds bad. It sounds like she's just doing a Arlene Sorkin impression, who's the original actress who did the voice for Harley Quinn. But the issue is that her Harley is too high-pitched.
Yeah, I sort of get that as well. Like, just from seeing the movie once, I do pick up that it's just, like, a much more higher-pitched sort of Harley Quinn. And I can feel, like, in comparison to all the Harley Quinns, that is not, like, the Harley Quinn I would go for. Definitely the lower voice is definitely more Harley Quinn.
Like the key to Harley really is, you need to get the accent, like the kind of Joy Z accent, because that's just part of who the character is. Even though I stand to reason, dare to voice her without the accent doesn't really ruin the character as long as you have the quirky energy.
Right.
But she hits such a high pitch that I generally find it annoying to listen to, because it sounds like more like she's doing the voice that somebody makes to make fun of somebody. Like,
yeah, your voice sounds like this.
Yeah, you know, like what was it that, like, Doug said, where it's like, this character sounds like the voice you make when your friend's a moron.
Yeah.
And you're like, you know your friend's being a moron, but you need to convey it to other people that your friend's being a moron.
Like, hello everybody. Yeah, we've seen a lot of, like, cartoons just like that, and I can totally see, like, the Harley Quinn in this movie sounding like that. Hi, the high-pitched annoying one.
And like, that's the thing, is, like, I know Tara Strong's a better performer than this. She's proven time and time again she's a better performer than this. And, like, I don't want to be mean-spirited about it, but my only criticism to her as a performer with this role is tone down the pitch a bit, because to me, personally, it's very annoying to listen to, especially for long periods of time. And the fact that she's going to be playing Harley Quinn in the animated Suicide Squad movie coming out later this year that we're going to have to tackle,
Yeah.
I bet you that's going to get on my nerves.
Yeah, we'll see once it comes around. That's definitely on the list of stuff that we're going to be covering this year.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, on the sort of the rating scale, where would this be for you?
I'd still say it's a must-see, not just as a Scooby-Doo fan, which I am. Obviously, you're clearly the bigger Scooby-Doo fan than I am. I mean, I've seen everything you've seen. Pretty sure. Actually, no, I never saw the one with the Jason Voorhees analog.
Yeah, I'll show that to you sometime. But yeah,
or the puppet one.
Yeah, that was a good one as well. I'm just trying to think of, like, my score. Like, I feel like initially after watching the movie, I was just saying, like, oh yeah, definitely must see and all that. But now thinking about it, I'm just feeling like, I feel that just sort of the fan that I am, it's like not sort of the same fan that most other people will, because I've seen, like, every Scooby-Doo movie. I know, like, all the Batman villains and all that sort of stuff. So I'm just sort of that sort of...
That's bull. You know who all the Batman villains
are. The main ones. Okay, I'll say main ones. I'm sorry.
I guarantee you, I could freeze a frame in there. You're gonna be like, who's that? I guarantee you had no idea who the hell Zebra Man was until I was like, oh, look, Zebra Man. And
no, I knew it from the Lego Batman movie.
The classic. The Lego Batman movie that educated you on, what was it, like, names all these characters. Did you make those up? Nope. They're all real. Probably worth the Google.
Google. But yeah, just for those sort of reasons, that I feel that this is for a specific fan in a sense. I would say it's a good watch. A good watch. Definitely, I would still recommend it to anyone who's interested in either Batman Brave and the Bold or Scooby-Doo. This is a really good crossover movie that will just still be a whole lot of fun to watch.
This, to me, proves that it wouldn't hurt DC if they decided to do Brave and the Bold animated films once a year like they do with Scooby-Doo.
Yeah.
Not only does Brave and the Bold have the fan base, but the thing is, you don't have to do Batman the Brave and the Bold. You can just do the Brave and the Bold and have it in this art style, have voice actors come back, and do team-ups.
Yeah.
Do like Blue Beetle and Booster Gold. Just do a Superman-Batman one. People would love to see a Superman-Batman team-up where they're friends and not hating each other for the better half of 2 hours, having maybe a 15-minute fight scene at best, and then Superman's dead.
Yeah. Yeah, that would actually be really good. I would like to see an Aquaman movie in that style as well.
Oh yeah, the thing is, I don't know who you team Aquaman up. Actually, I do. In the comics, Aquaman is friends, and this is gonna sound really crazy. Aquaman is friends with Etrigan, who is a demon from hell, and they team up every couple of years because Cthulhu awakes, and they beat him back to sleep.
You know, I don't know who Etrigan is. I just had this sort of mental image of just Aquaman holding the hands of like this big monstrous horror, just skipping through a meadow or something.
Actually, surprisingly enough, Etrigan's kind of short. I guarantee you've seen him. He's yellow and he's got fangs, black around the eyes. He's got red glowing eyes, pointed bat ears, red bodysuit, and a bright blue cape.
Oh,
I guarantee
that one.
you.
Yeah, I seen him.
I guarantee you from Justice League, you've seen Etrigan at least once.
Yeah, I've seen Etrigan. I remember him now.
That guy teams up with Aquaman to fight Cthulhu in the comics.
That sounds so good.
Make that a movie. Heck, have like Jon Stewart, the tough as nails like Marine Lantern, forced to work with Lobo. Like you have this tough, awesome, by the books police officer. And then you got this scummy bounty hunter. These things kind of write themselves at some point when you pitch them.
Yeah. So hopefully Warner Brothers thinks if this movie does well enough, they'll go with the Batman Brave and the Bold style for future movies.
They won't. Or if they do, it's going to be like, Batman will be in every single one of them. Because according to a person I talked to that works at Warner Brothers Studios, the only reason why they keep doing the animated Batman movies is because they're the no-risk film. You could put out a Batman movie. He said to me, you could put out a Batman movie. Even if it's garbage, it'll sell. Batman's not a risk. It's like putting Wolverine in something. Wolverine's not really a risk.
Yeah. Yeah, there's another sad note.
It's not. Oh, I understand it's business. I get it. That's why they do it. But actually, too, fun fact. I heard, this might just be a rumor, so take the truth of it as a grain of salt. I had heard that Brave and the Bold was supposed to be Superman.
Ooh.
Like, Superman was supposed to be teaming up with different heroes, and the studio said, no, Superman's boring. He sucks. No one cares about Superman. Batman, however, Batman sells. Make it Batman.
I wouldn't be shocked about that, but I definitely will take that with a grain of salt, though.
I take it with a grain of salt because I'm like, that's it sounds. Here's the thing. Because I know how the studio looks at Batman as the golden cow that makes the money, I 100% buy it. But there's a part of me that's like, I'm still skeptic on the validity of how true that statement is. But the cynic in me is like, yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah,
that's why they went from Man of Steel to, oh, are we going to get a Superman sequel? Yeah, Man of Steel didn't do well. Batman's in the sequel! Oh.
Woo!
I thought we were going to get a Superman sequel that was going to, like, explain the fallout from this movie. Nope! Oh, well.
Oh, okay.
At least we got Batman. He murders! So he doesn't act remotely like Batman. Golden Age Batman? What, the character that nobody really remembers anymore? That isn't instilled in the pop culture? Shut up, pig! Enjoy Batman!
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Good stuff. Good stuff indeed. Now we'll just have to wait till the next Scooby-Doo movie to see where it goes from here.
Is that it for Scooby-Doo movies? Do they only do one animated Scooby-Doo film a year?
I'd have to double check what they're doing for 2018. I know they're still working on Scoob, but I believe that's coming out in 2019, where Mystery Incorporated comes out like a whole organization. Yeah,
is that the one where it's like, Scooby-Doo needs to be cool, so it's going to be like the Men in Black? That sounds as stupid as that comic book where it's like, you know the plot to Resident Evil where a virus, like, broke out and made people into zombies? What if it was that, but all the iconic monsters they fought are, like, mutated people who are monsters because of, like, the T-virus? Isn't this what you've always wanted? Man, I don't even want that in my Resident Evil, let alone my Scooby-Doo.
Yeah, really, that's just weird. And that Scooby-Doo apocalypse is still going on.
It is. We really should put together a review for you. You should, like, read, like, the first 5 issues and be like, I'm reviewing this, and then maybe every year, so, like, sequentially be like, I read another 5 issues, and here's a review.
Here's the story so far. Here's the story.
Comment if you guys want us to do that, because WHYBOY is the resident Scooby, like, nerd, so it only makes sense.
It's
You are
me.
a nerd.
Yeah.
Quiet nerd.
No, I'm proud of it. I'm proud of my Scooby nerdness.
Nerd. Anyways, yeah, like, comment though if you'd like to see him read that comic. There are regular Scooby-Doo comics, but they're kind of like standalone, one-if, like, just little mystery one-offs.
Yeah, this is the one that actually just sort of shifts everything up in a new setting and all that, and just sort of head exploding and all that.
I could tell you something that's not even a surprise.
Well, I've seen the first issue, so I probably wouldn't be surprised either.
You know what? I'm gonna just let you. If we get enough comments, you tell you what, guys, get 100 likes on this video.
Yep.
100 thumbs up. WHYBOY will review that for Halloween.
Yep.
First 5 issues.
Yep. 100 likes in this video, and I'll do that, definitely.
And you know what? I will pitch in on that review, and I think we might even do some kind of dressing up.
Ooh.
I have no idea what we're gonna do. What?
I'll put on my bunny ears.
No, we'll figure something out. Don't you worry. Okay, we'll figure something out. But in the meantime, you gotta be sure to like, you gotta be sure to subscribe, you gotta comment, you gotta hit that notification bell, because that's how you keep up to date with us.
Yeah.
You can check us out on ToonGrin.com. You can support us through Patreon, where you can actually vote on what we'll review.
Yep.
You could support us through TeePublic, where you can buy all sorts of cool shirts and stickers and all fun sort of nerd paraphernalia.
Ooh.
And all that money helps support the show. And you can support us through T-Blocks
Yep,
by
our
using
sponsor.
our code. Our sponsor.
ToonGrin, TBX.
We finally realized we have a sponsor. That's right. ToonGrin TBX. You go over to T-Blocks. You can get all sorts of cool stuff. You can set up a box. You get all sorts of cool merchandise. WHYBOY himself got a shirt from, I believe, one of the past Comic-Cons, which you can't get anymore, of Adventure Time.
Yep. But if you just put ToonGrin TBX into checkout, you get 10% off your purchase there.
That's a good bargain, man. Gotta
Right.
make use of that.
Yep, it is, and they'll be coming out with exclusive boxes soon, so better get on that.
So, guys, as always, be sure to tune in
To ToonGrin. Until the next Scooby-Doo movie, which we'll inevitably review.
Well, probably another animated one next year. I mean, that's the only Hanna-Barbera property they keep crapping out. They don't even like care that they have all these other properties. Like, we got the Flintstones and the Jetsons. Screw them. The
It's
dog.
Scooby-Doo! Because Scooby-Doo, just like Batman's another safe property for them.
Why?